Welcome home, my boy.
It's impossible.
Is it?
It couldn't be.
Couldn't it?
Are you?
In the saggy flesh.
So welcome one and all to an all-new video. In this video we're going to be doing a movie review of a new film that just came out a couple weeks ago and is a third film in a great series from Paramount, so we're going to get right into that. Before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss this video and the other videos I put up. As always, people, if you enjoy my content here on YouTube, definitely check out my other social media platforms such as X, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Patreon. Pretty much post on these regularly, so definitely check them out. As always, people, let's get right into this. So welcome one and all to an all-new video. So like I was saying before, we're doing a movie review of a new film that just came out a couple weeks ago, and it's a third film in a great franchise from Paramount called Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Yeah! Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Yeah! So Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is the third film in this great series from Paramount that started back in 2020, based, of course, off the Sega video game that came out in the 90s, and is a great character that has been in a whole bunch of different video games over the years, and, all through the different spectrums and different systems and all that kind of cool stuff. And I just remember always thinking Sonic was such a great game. I always enjoyed it. I thought Sonic was so cool looking. I always thought he was fun because what other character could you roll up in a ball and become super fast and take down, kind of like what Mario does, but as a hedgehog and stuff like that. And I just always thought he was such a cool character, and so when they decided to finally make him into a movie, I was so psyched. And so when the third film was announced, I was so happy that it was getting a third film because this film series has been so great. And this film, once again, proves how amazing the writing is on this team and how fun they are, and just they know exactly what us Sega lovers enjoy. And this film just blew me out of the water. It was so freaking amazing, so good. And each of these films just keeps getting better and better with each film. And this one just delivered even more than the previous two. And it was just so much fun. And, great Sonic character is just so fun. I'm glad and love that they're bringing in all the different characters that have been throughout the, franchise of the video games. From Shadow to Knuckles and Tails and so forth, and stuff like that. And it's just been fun to see that being brought to life on the big screen. And it's been so much fun. And, like I said, this one just fully delivers everything you want from a Sonic film. Now, this film is directed none other by a great gentleman that has had the pleasure of directing the other two films, and is just, I think, an amazing director. And that, of course, is Mr. also known as Jeff Fowler. Oh yeah, Jeff Fowler. Woo, Jeff Fowler, yeah. Jeff Fowler is just an amazing director. I think he has a great eye, a great concept, a great thought process on what these Sonic movies have been, and he has delivered every single film. And Jeff just has a really great eye for what the fans want. And I love that when the first film came out and they gave the first interpretation of what Sonic would look like, he took the fans' consideration and to revamp it. And it was the smartest thing he's ever done. And has it not been done, I feel, I don't think the Sonic franchise would have been as good as it has become. And I'm so glad they decided to change it up and refix it because he looked so insanely crazy when they first decided to do that. And I was so happy that, he came back for all three sequels, the other two sequels. I'm so happy that, he is just an amazing director, and I love everything that he's done with this film. It's been so much fun what he's brought to it. And I just love everything that he has given us in these films, too, because in each film, he gives us something new, he gives us something different, and he, makes sure to really kind of grow and push forward the storyline and show the development and show the kind of growth of the characters throughout each film. And he's done that so well. And I love what he's done and how he's grown Sonic from the first film. I love how he's grown Tails, how he's grown Knuckles, and even the human counterparts, James Marsden's character, Tika Sumpter's character, how they've grown throughout the series too. I love that they have done such a great job of giving great performances from all these people, and just giving this a really greatly directed film that has amazing CGI, amazing soundtracks, and just really great writing. And Jeff has done a great job of bringing those to life and giving us, and that's what he's done with this third film. Now, if you haven't seen anything else Jeff has directed, another great film he's directed, of course, is its previous successor, Sonic 2. Yeah! Sonic 2. Yeah, I mean, like I said, each film gets better and better, and he just really knows how to deliver, and I thought he did that with the second film. I didn't think he could top what he did in the second film, bringing in Knuckles, giving us that whole, that diamond, the emerald diamond that has superpowers as well. I didn't think that they could really capsulate on that, especially giving us that great giant robot at the end of the film that Robotnik creates, and it's so freaking badass and so cool, and absolutely love that. And so I think that Sonic 2 just really is, another great directing job by Jeff, and that he just really knows what he's doing and giving us these really successful, really fun, really greatly interpreted, from the video game into live action form. And he proved that with Sonic 2 by going from the first film and really expanding well into that second one. If you haven't seen anything else Jeff Fowler has directed, definitely check out Sonic 2 for his directing. He did a phenomenal job. But overall, I love what he did with Sonic 3. He did such a great job with it, giving us this really great film that just blew me away with how amazing and how even better it was than the first two films. It just was so superbly done and so well. Great job by Jeff. If you haven't seen anything Jeff Fowler has directed, definitely go see Sonic 3 in theaters now. He did a fantastic, phenomenal job. So this movie has a really fantastic cast, a lot returning from the previous films, introductions of new characters and so forth, and just has been a really great cast that have really, I feel I don't see anybody else playing these characters because they were just so amazing at these characters. And I love that they have come back for each film. I love the introduction of new characters like Kristen Ritter in this one. Of course, Keanu as, Shadow and so forth and stuff like that. And it just has been so much fun having these characters evolve and come and go and stuff like that in these films, and just gives us this really fun stuff. And it just a really great cast that, I think was perfect for this film series. So to start us off is none other than Robotnik himself, Mr. Jim Carrey! Oh yeah, Jim Carrey, woo, Jim Carrey, yeah! So Jim Carrey, who we all know from such films as The Mask, Dumb and Dumber, Ace Ventura's, Cable Guy, The Majestic, Truman Show, Man on the Moon. He's done so many films over the years and just is a great comedian, one of the greatest, of the 90s, and is just always fun to watch. And his interpretation of Robotnik has been so much fun to watch. I love the evolution he's gone throughout all three films, and how he's really gone from kind of that, straight-laced looking kind of, not really what Robotnik looked like in the games, to the evolution of how he looks in this one. I love that. I love how it's gone from he's kind of like this really smart person to actually becoming and looking like Robotnik over the course of the three films. And I love that, he has interpreted it so well and has brought it to life and given us this really fantastic iteration of the character, and he just has been played Robotnik so freaking well. And I absolutely loved him in this film because he just brought it once again even more in this. It actually felt more like Jim Carrey was back again. It felt like his classic 90s films, his early 2000 films. It felt like he was happy and himself again versus what we've seen in the past few years. And it was so nice to see that those Jim Carrey-isms again in this film, and Jim just was so amazing in this film, giving these great fun things to Mr. Robotnik, and just was amazing as it. I just really enjoyed what he brought, and I loved that I felt like I saw the old Jim Carrey in this too, especially with him playing his grandfather. The other Robotnik was freaking hilarious. Their dance scene was absolutely hilarious when they're wearing the different suits that it reflects the light, was freaking awesome. And just their whole camaraderie through the rest of the film was just freaking hilarious. And, him having to be, him be both characters was even hilarious because he really brought it and like altered those two characters very well, and it just was so cool. Jim is just such a great talent, and it was so nice to see that talent again in this characterization in this film. Now, if you haven't seen anything else Mr. Jim Carrey has been in, a great film to check him out in, and I think is one that I don't think he gets enough recognition for and how fun it was, is a great film that came out in 2011 called Mr. Popper's Penguins. Yeah! Mr. Popper's Penguins. Yeah! I absolutely love this film. I loved seeing him kind of in a family-friendly film that where he actually played kind of more of a serious role slash kind of like mentor type of character, and it was fun to see him play that type of character because you didn't really see much for him like that, and it was just so much fun and so awesome, and I just absolutely loved him in the film, and he was super hilarious at the same time, but was so fun to see in that kind of role, and being in love with these penguins and teaching them and loving them and stuff like that. It was a lot very similar, I felt, definitely to his Mask character, Stanley Ipkiss, where that character I felt was probably one of his, in the 90s at least, one of his more normal roles where he played kind of a normal human being. And that's how I felt he was in Mr. Popper's Penguins. And it was just nice to see him play that type of character again that just worked really well. And he was so much fun as that character, and I just thought he was amazing. If you haven't seen Mr. Popper's Penguins from Jim Carrey's performance, definitely check it out. He's really good in it and really does a great job. But overall, Jim was so amazing again, once again, as Robotnik, and such a great performance in the film from beginning to end. He was just on point in every portion of this film and just was such a class act. If you haven't seen Jim Carrey recently, go check him out in Sonic 3 now. He was phenomenal. So that brings me to the next person I'd like to talk about this film. And that, of course, is Sonic himself, Mr. Ben Schwartz. Oh, yeah, Ben Schwartz. Woo, Ben Schwartz, yeah. Ben Schwartz is so freaking hilarious. Absolutely love the guy. From his John Ralphio in Parks and Rec to pretty much anything he does, he's always super freaking hilarious. And I absolutely loved him. And so when I found out he was playing Sonic, I was so thrilled because I thought he was perfect for the voice. It sounds like him. It's very similar, and it's just on point of how I feel I would see Sonic, because he brings a lot of his great isms from any of his roles he's played to this character, and it was just so much fun. And once again, he just delivered so well in Sonic 3, giving us some great new things that was just so fun from the previous two films, showing, Sonic's growth, showing Sonic's maturity, showing, how Sonic is really a team leader. And I thought Ben did such a good job of bringing those to life and giving us this really very well-rounded character in this film. And Ben is just so good at comedy lines too. With some of the lines he says are absolutely on point, perfect. Delivery, and just so freaking funny. And it just really gives Sonic even more reason to love the character and want to hear Sonic talk all the time. And I just think Ben does such a great job of bringing that to life. Now, if you haven't seen anything else, Ben Schwartz has been in, another great movie he's in that I really enjoyed is a great film that came out in 2018 called Night School. Yeah! Night School. Yeah. So in this film, he plays like the best friend of Kevin Hart, who is trying to get him a job, but he needs to get his diploma to be able to get the job. And he is freaking hilarious in this film. I absolutely love him because he is just so funny, so fun, and he trying to be kind of serious and push Kevin Hart in the right direction, but at the same time, he just kind of no, kind of deal, and it's freaking hilarious, and it's just so well constructed and done by Ben, and he just is so freaking hilarious in the film, and I just really enjoy him in the film, what he brings to it, how he acts, alongside Kevin Hart and the others, and I just think he's really fun in the film. If you haven't seen Ben Schwartz or anything, definitely should come out in Night School. He was really phenomenal. But overall, once again, he delivered Sonic to the T. It was just so freaking fantastic. If you haven't seen Ben Schwartz recently, go check him out in Sonic 3 now. He was absolutely fantastic. So that brings me to the next person I'd like to talk about, and that, of course, is a newcomer to the film and franchise, and he plays a great character that was awesome to see. And that, of course, is the great Mr. Keanu Reeves. Oh yeah, Keanu Reeves. Woo, Keanu Reeves. Yeah. So Keanu Reeves, we all of course know from the Matrix trilogy and quadrilogy. Now we recognize, him from Point Break. You might recognize him from several things over the years. And Keanu is just such a great actor, so fun to watch, and is just considered a really awesome guy in real life, and I've seen that in several videos I've seen of him and stuff like that, and I just thought this was such a great role to give him because he was just so amazing as a character. I absolutely loved his interpretation of Shadow. I love what he brought to it. I loved the essence, the feeling, the everything that he brought to the character just felt so real and so fun, and just really showed a different side to Keanu's abilities in the acting world, and it was fun to see him voice over a role too as well, which he hasn't done very much of, but I think he did a really phenomenal job bringing Shadow to life. And his voice was just kind of fun to listen to as Shadow, because I would have never thought of Keanu Reeves' voice as Shadow, but it works really well. It was really awesome. And I just thought that he just overall did a really great job and just was a really great addition to the film series. And just, I thought, really delivered Shadow to the T. Now, if you haven't seen anything else, Keanu Reeves has done, definitely a great movie to check out and one of my all-time favorites, is a great film that they actually mentioned in the film. And that, of course, is the film called Speed. Yeah! Speed. Yeah. Absolutely love this freaking movie. It's so awesome, so fun, so enjoyable. Just one of those films that you're like, oh my god, it's just so freaking awesome. And Keanu was so amazing in it as the main character, along with Jeff Daniels, Sandra Bullock, and some of the other people that are in it. And he just is to me that character. I feel that's him in real life. He would be that angry about, what happened to Jeff Daniels and stuff like that. And Keanu just was so amazing in that film, kicking butt, showing that he's an action star, and it just shows how talented Keanu is. And that, talent he brought to, of course, Sonic 3. If you haven't seen Keanu Reeves or anything, definitely check him out in Speed. He was absolutely fantastic in that film. And once again, he was just so great as Shadow, and I absolutely loved that they brought him in to play the character. And he was just such a great addition to this franchise and this film. If you haven't seen Keanu Reeves recently, go check him out in Sonic 3. He's absolutely fantastic. So what is Sonic 3 about? Basically, this time around, Sonic is basically having to team up with Knuckles and Tails to take down a new alien that has basically popped up on their radar, named Shadow. And basically the film's about them trying to stop Shadow from trying to basically destroy the world along with Dr. Robotnik and his grandfather. And basically Sonic and the team have to save the world once again from the evil doers. It's a really well done film, so amazing. It was so good. I was blown away once again by just how fantastic it was, how enjoyable it was, and just everything about this film was on point and so much fun. And like I said, it had a lot of great things that I hadn't seen in the previous two films, and they just did such a great job of bringing that to life and giving us a really well orchestrated film that just blew the other two out of the water, and it just was so well done. If you haven't seen Sonic 3 yet, highly recommend go check it out. Giant 10 golden movie boxes up on this bad boy. It just was such a great sequel, such a great addition to this franchise, and just really brings to life some great things. I mean, there's some great scenes throughout this film. I love how they bring the whole Donut Lord thing back in this one, having James Marsden's character wear a sweater that says Donut Lord. Absolutely freaking hilarious. The puppet he has created is absolutely epic, and it just is such a phenomenal film. Highly recommend go check it out in theaters now. Like I said, if you have not seen it, go check it out in theaters now. Worth the watch. Can't wait to add it to the collection. So that's it for this movie review, guys. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Also, thank you for subscribing. And if this is your first time here, or you have been here before, don't forget to check out any older new videos you might not have seen mine yet. As always, people, a huge shout out to my new and old subscribers. Thank you so much for being a part of the channel. You guys are rocking it. But if you want to show true support for the channel, please check out my awesome Patreon page, where you can get extra accoutrement once you become a member of my outtakes, bloopers, all that kind of cool stuff that you don't get here on my YouTube channel. So definitely check that out. As always, catch you in the next one.